boat, and you had been on the run for 2 weeks and battering storms and foe, and you're grounding the ship ashore. Before we start, and if there's logistics and things to worry about, we'll deal with it later. I'll bring your characters into another map in a little while. Any questions though, or anything before we get going?
I'm just gonna say that I took knock again since the other wizard's gone.
Oh, good call. That's a handy spell.
Oh, do I get a magic item? I thought you said we got a magic item,
yeah.
or do I not?
Oh, you do. Oh, that's oh, right. Athelina, pardon me, Birdie. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. And you can give me a 100-sided roll, and we'll tap that up, and you can introduce your character as you would have been seen on the boat, and perhaps give a reason why you're on the boat if you want to. You got to know each other a bit. So, what did you roll, and what is your class?
I'm trying to see where the roll is.
It would be in the chat on the
there
right.
It is.
Scroll of Wish.
Or 3.
3. I got a 3 out of 100. I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
Thankfully, that's just entries for magic items, so it's probably at least decent.
So let's see. My character's name is Athelina. She goes by Lena for short with friends, family. So I'm guessing most of the people in the ship would just call her Lena for short. Let's see if I can pull up her background real quick. So she was originally born or from the Wild Coast area. Her family moved to the city to make a living when she was young, and they perform as a group of magicians and acrobats using sleight of hand, acrobatic tricks and stuff to entertain. On the legal side, they have a not so legal way of earning money that most people don't know about because they're thieves. So they also do pickpocketing and stuff. Lena does not hold to any deity or religion. She believes in luck. She's like, no god's ever got me out of any of the scrapes I got myself in. You either get out or you don't. But she will pretend for the sake of not drawing attention to herself or not ending up dead. She is loyal and caring towards friends and family, but she does not trust most people, so she'd be more of, I guess, a chaotic neutral when it comes to most, but with there goes my brain again. With like teammates or friends, she would be more likely to be a lawful neutral. She ended up leaving her family group because they were having a hard time making ends meet in the city, so they sent out some of the people to go somewhere else to make a living. And my guess is she probably met, how's his name pronounced? Kair? Care. So she probably ran into him at some point and discovered they had a lot in common. And then when he found out about the job on the ship, she joined him because, well, she still needs to eat. And it's better than starving in the city.
Indeed.
But she's not sure right now that it's much better.
Why are you on the boat?
New opportunities. I'm just trying to, I guess, make a name for myself, adventure, make a living. It seemed a good as way as any for my character.
Okay, one thing that you hold with pride, now I've changed your item here.
Okay.
You have a suit of elven chain.
Ooh.
+1.
So 3 was very good.
+1 for...
Now elven chain acts as leather armor, basically.
Ooh.
So it doesn't affect thief abilities, but gives you protection of chainmail.
Oh, nice. So I have additional armor, but still can be agile and...
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
Nice. So that adds to my... What is it?
You also get full movement, like you have 12 movement. Elven chain, it's fitted to you with some sort of gift or some token, perhaps, because it's rare. It's rare.
So would that affect my AC or HP at all? Or...
Yeah, definitely.
Let's look that up.
So you would have Chainmail is armor class 5. Oh, pardon me. No, yeah, it is. It's armor class 5. It's +1. So root armor class 4. What's your dexterity?
My dexterity is 17.
Oh, nice. So you have armor class 1, which is very good.
So that would be the AC number?
Correct.
Armor class 1. Okay.
And if you're surprised, technically you'd have armor class 4. You don't get your dexterity bonus if you're surprised, but that's another ball game. Okay, so there we are with your character. So you're all on this ship of fools, heading along the shore. So I'm going to read the intro from the module. Again, I posted parts of this so you'll remember some of it. It is sort of key towards a party of 3, Hare, Myra, and what's his name again? Rael, who were the original pre-gens. This module was ran as a tournament module back in the 70s at some Gen Con something. And I am running it in the tournament format, somewhat to speak. And you'll find out how that works in a moment. Your party is lost. You should never have abandoned the ship and struck out in the marshes, but your pursuers were closing on your trail and it seemed the only way. Stumbling onward through the fens, your party makes the higher ground ahead. As you cross the ridge, the sun sinks below the horizon and night comes. Breathless, the party drops to the ground, and you try to catch your mind with the welcomed rest. Somewhere behind you comes the sound of distant shouts. Scrambling back to your feet, you force your way further into the brush, past great carved stones which lie overturned on the ground. A full moon rises, sending moonbeams and ghastly shadows to the flicker through the branches. Ahead in the woods, a light glows and seems to beckon, perhaps a shelter for the night. Though thorns tear and impede your progress, and the source of illumination is reached at last. Before you is a clearing. There is an ancient ruin. A worn and overgrown pyramid fills the courtyard, shining in the moonlight, seeming almost brighter than the moon itself. A refuge? Perhaps. Tomorrow with daylight and the party may explore, but tonight you must have rest. There are 3, Care, a magic user and thief by trade, with a price on his head, Myra, a banished cleric who seeks escape from his former colleagues, and Riel, our barbarian fighter, outcast of his people, and others. In recent weeks past, Riel and Myra helped Care escape the clutches of bounty hunters and assassins, and thus became fair prey as accomplices. Taking passage on a ship faring south, the party had thought to evade the hunters, but the persistent trackers followed to a hired ship. In final desperation, the party had abandoned their vessel for the wild jungles of the savage land. The sun has risen, and after hasty counsel and preparation, the party gathers up their equipment and starts toward the pyramid temple. You tread carefully across cracked and overgrown flagstones, stepping over fallen and shattered pillars, pushing aside vines and briars. As the party approaches the temple and the sound of crashing through the underbrush comes from behind you, turning around, the party glimpses the men moving through the woods toward the clearing. Then the earth shudders and gapes, open beneath the party's feet, and you are falling amidst the roar of collapsing masonry. Dust fills the air, and the sunlight disappears as the darkness swallows you. So all goes to darkness as you're swallowed by the earth that appears into some forgotten sinkhole. Now I need everybody to make a constitution check. And what this basically is, or pardon me, a system shock. If you fail, you are unconscious.
Oh.
And yeah,
Big night.
it is in your macro in your character sheet.
Looking good so far.
Unless you have particular abilities like Elven Vision or some other races have it, you won't be able to see anything momentarily. Now I have to run quick up to the kitchen. I dry mouth harshly. I ran out of water. I'll be back in a moment. I'll let you think about this for a minute, but For the moment, there is dust in every orifice and crack you have. You're reaching around in rubble. You got scratches and bruises. You're coughing out this acrid, chalky dust. Tastes awful. Most of you've held on your weapons, perhaps, or you're reaching, scrambling for your weapons, trying to stand up out of the rubble. Has anybody failed the test?
I'm not sure how to run it. Is it a
Oh,
D6?
no, in your character sheet. So was that Athenema or
Yeah.
Athenema? Yeah, in your character sheet, you go in and you can actually hit your macro. You can hit your system shock beside your constitution in your stats.
I'm trying to find that.
So it has your hit point bonus. You have constitution 10. Your system shock is 70%. And if you hit that button in your character sheet, then I can do a screen share if you need to.
Yeah, I'm not sure
one.
where it is. Trying to find it.
No,
I'm not as familiar with Roll20, so.
No problem.
Next to the Constitution score, it has a button for System Shock, I think.
Yeah. So I've shared my screen in Discord, and if you have your character sheet open, you'll be under personal attributes, etc.
Okay, there's System Shock.
Yeah, and then you have initiative over here. We'll be using that in a bit as well. But all these macros should work.
Okay.
And everyone's passed, so everybody's stumbling out of this acrid chalk, and there's a bit more of a reed to go through here. You have to bear with me. I need some better light for them. Struggling here a little bit, and then I'll let you absorb this information. Then I'll run upstairs real quick, get some water. So again, breathing heavily, you find that the world has stopped tumbling, and you now sit on a cold, damp stone. The coughing and wheezing of your companions can be heard nearby. In the darkness, to your backs are rough rocks and broken earth. As you sit, the rumble and clatter of rocks diminishes to the occasional rattle of pebbles and the shush-shush of sliding dirt. Does anybody have a light source? Because right now you're just reaching around. You can feel behind you there's still stuff falling down from the ceiling. There's still rocks tumbling.
I have 60 feet of dark vision. Do I see any threats?
I have torches.
I think I got torches too.
See, I need notes on my equipment. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm coming in late on everything. But...
Oh, that's okay. You can use common sense too and just say, okay, I'm assuming I'm going to have... You do have rudimentary gear with you. Technically, we will have a cutoff this session, so you can't add more stuff after this. We forgot to go through that. So light source is struck, and immediately you have difficulty striking light. And as you clear your nostrils and spit out dirt, you start to have the smell come into your sinuses. And as you strike up the torch and hold it aloft, it's not giving off like the regular kind of yellowish light. It's sputtering a little bit, and it's shorter range. And I'll bring us to a map shortly. It's definitely not giving off normal torch light, and there's something in the air affecting it and giving a tinge to the light, making it more orange. Riel, the barbarian, sits quietly, nose raised, sniffing carefully. After a moment, his fears confirmed, he informs the other two. The air in this place is bad, poisonous. I fear that if we are still entombed in this place, 3 hours from now, we shall never leave.
Well, let me convey the information, bud. I don't mean to frighten you all, but the air is poisonous. We'd best get up and get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
And you're right, I should have sent you the text quickly, a little clip. Read this.
Yeah, good thinking. Yeah. You send me the information that he would know, and then I can flavor that or put in my own words. Regardless, Riel will get up and draw forth his sword. Who's with me?
It is not the will of Kitley for us to die yet. And I get up and with my spear.
Indeed.
I draw my sword.
Whatever. So I've got. Not stopping here.
Everyone's shaking off dust and coughing. I'm just getting your avatars in the right map and such. Give me a second. And then we'll see a minute, make sure that we can all see. Have a quick look, actually. Okay, that's working. I'm just doing a quick check here. For some reason, mine are okay. Okay, yeah, you can see. Good. So far, so good. Good. I can do this quickly. I can. Okay, Athelina is not seen. Okay, she has vision to 25 feet at the moment, or 30 feet. There we go. Okay, sorry about this, everybody. A little bit of logistics, and this character here.
It's actually encouraging to me because I'm hoping to DM my first game soon, and I'm pretty sure I won't have all my ducks in a row.
No, and work caught up to me this week, and yeah, I have a lot of excuses. I'm just.
All's forgiven. It's always a learning process. All right, I definitely have a tinderbox and flint, and I definitely have torches. So, all right.
You may hear some sound effects and such.
This is great. I love this. This is a really nice looking map.
So as you claw your way out of the rubble behind you, you are in a long, narrow chamber running east-west. Now, this is going to be a mind twister. Top of the map is not north. Okay, it is east. And I'll have to kind of maintain that, but I'll keep reminding you. So think up is not north, it is east.
So that would
You're in a long, narrow chamber running east-west. In the center of this apartment is a domed shape on the floor. In the east wall is a blank-faced stone door, and the west end of the room is blocked by fallen stone and rubble, apparently the result of a collapse. The two stone walls appear to have several niches cut into them. The shape in the center of the chamber appears to be a small alcove, protected by a half dome with the open end facing toward the door in the east wall. This alcove is set in a recessed, shallow, tiled well, 1 foot deep and 10 feet wide. The alcove itself is 4 feet high. The hollow seems to hold some sort of display. So at this point, I'll say that you're looking in wonder at this ancient architecture. This place has clearly not been disturbed for a long time. You're guessing decades, if not maybe centuries, as you look around. It's impressive. Clearly ancient. Now, the Olmec among you have sudden thoughts in your head and imagery of this stylized form, these geometric patterns and such. Now, as you can see in the room, the door to the east is at the top. And I will explain further as you move. You can now, we're in free time, it's called. So you can technically move your avatar around the map. And technically we're in real time. So you're moving there. If you set off a trap or something while you do that or whatever, get ambushed, be warned. So if you go tripping down a hallway, suddenly I'll go, whoa, freeze. You hear a click or whatever. But you're in the room, you're looking around in wonder, the torch is fluttering, and for the moment I've just given general sight to everybody. Now that I have the avatars and the players and stuff and things ready going, it'll be much more streamlined. I'm going to customize who's holding torches, you're going to have symbols for that. All right, so this session is very much a kind of a process.
Now, doesn't someone have infravision?
I do.
Dark vision, wasn't it?
It's infravision. I have 60 feet.
Very handy. Let me change that. That's Kara, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I can see 60 feet.
Okay, good. Yeah. Each
I
one
can
of
see
these
all the way
squares is
up
5 feet, actually. This is a correction. Each one of these squares is 5 feet. Okay?
Wow, that's a big chamber.
This map was originally designed for 5e.
All right.
So the old maps, everything is 10-foot squares, but...
Okay. Perhaps we could find something useful here. I go, what's in this alcove?
Turn down the volume a little bit. All right, so as you go down the road, go down the alcoves, does anyone want to check out the dome? That's that thing in the center. It's the part is closed to you. You can't see what's actually in the dome until you go around and look at it.
Looks like Kare's looking at the dome. I'm going to be taking a very careful look at some of these murals.
Okay, so I'll start with Ross. As you go to, there are 3 5-foot wide niches along both the north and southern walls, about 3 feet above the floor. Each niche contains a diorama depicting some aspect of what appears to be tribal life. The 6-foot high or the 6-inch figures in all the displays appear to be made of stucco, realistically and brightly painted. The scenes portrayed represent fishing, farming, religion, warfare, the creation story, and the crafts. The first alcove you see there, A, contains a river scene. There are Ulman men, women, and children are busy gathering rushes, fishing with nets, and carving a dugout. D, where Riel is, that niche holds a scene of tribal warfare. All the figures depict warriors carrying spears, clubs, hand axes, or daggers. The warriors of one side are painted black, while the other side is done in red. E, the fifth display, or this display, is that of the creation of the world. All the statuettes are stylized and obviously non-human. A god, adorned in green quetzal feathers, is mixing ashes with blood to form sculptures of a man and woman. 4 towering figures painted red, black, blue, and white are standing about a fire committing suicide with their daggers. 2 small figures are ringed by the 4. The modest, pimply one is being consumed by the fire, while the braggart, Lord of Snails, cowers in fear.
Nice.
I'll finish up quickly. F, as you go down the aisle, nothing jumps out. There's no traps are triggered as far as you can tell. And please tell me if you touch anything, though, or dabble with anything. For the moment, you're just looking. And you're all got that smell in your nostrils now. It's kind of stinging. It's like standing behind a diesel truck, or I hate doing modern analogies. The 6th hollow shows native men and women engaged in different crafts, weaving rugs and baskets, carving totems, making pots, grinding stones for weapons, and making clothes. The cave-in appears to have completely blocked the west end of the chamber, by the way. At short intervals, small amounts of rubble and dirt spill down the room once in a while, and several large stones appear to have wedged themselves tightly, closing the collapse. So you did look behind you, and you could tell that, well, you can try to dig your way out, but good luck with that. And let me know when you get to the door, but for the moment, if you want to dabble with anything, now, Kara, you go to the opening dome and have a look. The display appears to be a diorama depicting a hunting party of Ulman warriors in feathers and deer hide garments in a mountainous scene. Some have successfully pulled down a stag with the aid of a dog. Another group is cleaning a small mule deer, and the last party had cornered a puma with their spears. A scout watches the puma hunt from an outcropping above. He holds a metal staff with a loop in its end. It looks like a shepherd's crook. And there is a picture I'll look up quickly as you guys can think of what you'd like to do. And you haven't checked out the door yet. You've been away from that, and I'll read the description shortly.
Rial, do you know this tribe?
I think these may have been our ancestors long ago. The stinging, however, is beginning to get to me. We'd best form a marching order and get out of here as soon as we can. I'm afraid we cannot dawdle on the past much longer.
There may be treasures here yet to be plundered.
Perhaps. Very carefully, he'll step forward. Has the dome been investigated thoroughly yet?
No, I'm standing in front of it. I was going to let other people go first.
Alright, in that case, I'd say we start exploring the dome and then start making our way out.
Okay, so the dome, I'll, what are the figures made out of?
They're stucco, which is like a heated clay, kiln-dried clay.
So everything in the diorama is stucco except for the metal crook. Is that correct?
It does stand out. Hold that thought, heretic.
Okay.
Before you go on to that, those of you of Olmec ancestry, when you checked out the I think it was, E, where it said you were watching this display of these stylized and obviously non-human gods adorned with Quetzal feathers, and they were mixing ash with blood to form sculptures of a man and woman. And there happened to be two smaller figures, one ringed by the four, and you could actually make out that in language imprinted on its plinth was one that had the modest, pimply one is being consumed by fire, while you see that there's one called the braggart, and you know this because it rings a bell in ancient lore, where you had a great grandmother or some shaman who would, around the fire at a later time, talk about these old myths and the great societies that once flourished. And for some reason, this nickname, Lord of Snails, stuck in your mind. And this Lord of the Snails, you mouth out this name, Taku says Takotol. And that's what Lord of Snails actually interprets into. Like, that's what the name was written. And you could interpret it for your comrades. It means the Lord of Snails.
I'll do this.
You can't remember what the pimply one was known for.
These are being like defeated and shamed by the gods. These two.
Yes, they seem to be. Yes, exactly. The Lord of Snails appears to be cowering in fear. These two figures are ringed by four of these god figures, and those of you might recognize one of the god figures as the pardon me, there's a lot of lore happening here, so I have to quickly, this is happening pretty fast, and I know you guys are making this smell sting. Now mechanically, I'll let you know how that affects you, but there is going to be a timer started in tournament time. I'll be actually setting a clock. And when we're in free time and we're moving around, I'll be starting the clock, and I'll be stopping it often if we're into doing things, okay? It's not a perfect science, but it's one way to just cover that. In the original tournament, that's how they actually did it. So anyway, I digress. I was going to look up... I'll get back to you on those figures surrounding, though, but it does ring a bell. One of them had like bat-like features, another one had jaguar features.
The old gods, then.
And the bat god you definitely rescued. I can't remember his name at the moment. He's quite a customer.
I'll take a quick look for you. The bat god, you said?
Yeah, he's the bat god.
Should be in deities and demigods. His name was...
Sounds like Amazons.
So does anybody want to interact with anything at this point? I'll open it up. And Heretic, you were kind of stroking your chin and looking at this one hunter guy who was crouching up in this diorama.
Yeah, his crook. I'm gonna look for traps. See if there's any type of little pressure plate underneath it or anything like that.
Good call. Yeah. So your character should be able to macro that.
Yeah, macro.
Yeah, that's it. Kamazots.
And you said that there was a ring here?
No, a shepherd's crook with a ring on it, like with the top part has like a circle.
Tell me successful if there's a trap, I would find it.
Okay, you sense that there's something here, like you get goosebumps. It's more mystic. Like there's power here. You know, it raises your hairs. But you don't sense anything mechanical or, you know, something like that. You get a bad feeling about tinkering with stuff on here. And if you're thinking about taking the crook or
thinking about it.
You realize that, okay, you may have to extract it from this figurine without moving it.
Okay. So I have thieves' tools, and is there perchance a like tongs or something like that in them? That'd
what
be
in
part of
it?
my thieves' tools, like tongs.
Cons.
Tongs. He's trying to
Like
Oh,
to pick
tongs.
up something.
Yeah, you would
Please
have
just
all sorts of
please.
doodads in there. And what I would do is I'll give you a pick locks, and I'll give you a plus 25 bonus.
What's that?
You can use your pick locks ability and on your thief abilities, and I'll give you a plus
Okay.
25 bonus.
All right, cool. I'll do that. Pick locks.
And now while he's doing that, he's kind of like,
Get it.
other people could be watching him and interacting with other things if they wish, but so far you've just been looking at these figurines, and you all get a bit of goosebumps looking at this stuff. You're seeing an ancient power, and those Olmec of you are, getting the kind of nostalgic. And
Lena is she a thief?
Yeah, all I see here is money.
money.
I'm kind of trying not to laugh at like the bat god or the snail god.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is. I'm kind of wondering if it's worth anything, but I don't want to offend anybody by asking if it's worth anything.
Well, somebody,
Priceless.
one infidel already came in here and did that. Now he's trying to
some religious
steal
person
from-
may pay a lot for this, so.
Yeah.
The recovery of antiquities.
Right? We're protecting artifacts.
I wanted to show you the picks for this, which are very good. This module came with a set of an art booklet, so I'll be showing some fine art.
The way into the 13 afterlives is often guarded by those who set things in the path. Be wary. I look over to the thieves and just give them an eye. And I mean, let's go check this door out. I was wondering if there's a thief that can check this door out, because I don't know if my thief skills are as good. I'm assuming they're not. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll probably head over to see if I can
that's
check
cool.
the door out with you.
Cute.
Checking for traps and checking for
Sure.
that kind of thing. Because I'd really like to not die here.
No, and there are some tricky parts in this module. It's old school 1E, so you guys have been playing it really well. I shared a picture, and this is sort of a typical terracotta figure. It's very stylized, and Central American Aztec sort of look to it. Yeah, and that's
What about the other thing? The knife in his hand, is that also made of something other than stucco?
That would be a piece of obsidian.
Okay.
Does any of this look like it's gold or like jewels or anything?
No, to your chagrin, you realize that there's no gold around here. There's not even precious gems or silver. It's all stucco, and this room has a very ceremonial aspect to it, where apparently the ancients paid homage to the gods' role and their people's development and so on.
So basically, deadly gas, no money, and I'm bored. So we're definitely going to check out the door.
We're checking the door.
I got a 3% on my open locks for that. Trying to pluck that hook out.
Oh, wow. So you definitely, and you realize as you do so that the figurines can be removed. They can be picked up and taken or whatever. But you do it so deftly, you don't even budge it. And you get this little doodad, and I'll briefly give you the description. There are, okay, sorry, I lost it. Darn it. The door is carved with the sun symbol. It's a big, heavy stone door, and it appears to open into the room. There are hinges on this side and scratches on the floor, where you can see where previously it had been opened and it was so heavy and ponderous that it left marks. There is no visible lock or handle, although across the top of the door there's a slight gap. 8 holes have also seemed to have been bored into the door. They're about 1 inch in diameter, and they're kind of put down in a pattern, 8 holes down the door, but nothing can be seen in them. The door seems to be fairly thick. The lintel is arched, and there is a keystone at the top. And the keystone is like blocks the lintel above the door. It's a big door. That's what you see.
Stone lintel.
Now, I meant to run to the kitchen. I'm going to do so now. We'll take just a short break, and you can think about what you're going to do. The module does have this big lore-heavy intro. It's pretty cool, but it's going to be fun.
Are we able to tell if the door or the tile in front of it is booby-trapped?
Well, you haven't checked it for traps yet.
Okay,
So-
well, I will check it for traps.
It's got
What do I
some
roll
kind
with
of
that?
thing, like a locking mechanism, but it also has a gap, which is probably where the mechanism goes. Is this right? And then it's got a bunch of holes.
Those 8 holes could be a gas trap or darts or something.
Yeah, we're just asking for something with those holes. That's what. And so it sounds like the
Yeah.
mechanism's at the top, and then there's a gap where the mechanism is, and then you got the holes. Also, I'm curious what's on the ceiling, if we can see or if it's too high.
I'll definitely be standing to the side of those holes in the door while you guys are checking that.
I'm not sure if that's a found traps or not.
I think it is, but I think that
94.
does that pass for you?
Yeah, I have a 20% bonus for spending. I'm not sure how that works. So
Because it looked like the system has it passing. It says find traps. You have to get 20% or below, I think.
Oh, so I didn't see anything.
We'll send you that.
Let's see.
It's weird that it didn't read it out.
less than 20%. Yeah. So I did not notice anything peculiar. I don't know if Kara wants to take a look, or if we
Sorry.
just want to
Oh well, let me move mine out of the way. Sorry about that.
go for it.
On Roll20, I posted the name of that. That's pronounced. They have the phonics here. Taku says Takato. Taku says Takato, the Lord of Snails. And he had some myth as being kind of a joker and a braggart. He was probably a narcissist.
That's awesome.
Sounds like a
And-
slime area out of Ferrera.
So
yeah,
we have some questions. So one is, and then Lena, she tried to look for the traps on the door. Looks like got a knife for. And then, what does the ceiling look like in the area above the door? Is it too high to know what's on the ceiling, or what's the ceiling? What do we see up above the door?
ceiling has ancient archaeology. They've seamed together, buttressed the ceiling in some ancient manner. It's beyond, well, difficult, but amazing. Ceiling is about 20 feet tall in the room. And the door itself is probably close to 10 feet tall. It's a big door. So you have to kind of climb up on somebody's shoulders or something if you want to check the top out. And as you do, you don't find any traps. You were looking there, and it does appear to be trap-free. You're puzzled still by what these 8 holes do or had to do. As you're checking out the top of the door, what else do you want to do? Actually, I don't want to say anymore.
I might try to wave Kara over to see if he wants to check the door.
I'll be
Yeah.
standing to the side with a sword in case something opens the door and tries to attack us. Also, I'm loving that wizard poster in the background.
Thanks. Kara did something at the diorama in the middle. Those who were kind of paying attention, you see that he like delicately got in there and plucked this item from one of the stucco figurines of a shepherd, and he's holding it up, looking at it. And Heretic, I don't know. You're looking at the door too. I don't know what you want to do with this thing. And
You're muted. You were muted, Heretic.
My apologies. Yeah. I'm going to hold on to the crook, and then I'm going to walk over and examine the door for traps, and I got a 12%. It's a success.
Ooh.
oh, Heretic's rolling good. Heretic, you're doing your thing, and you've made a thorough job of it. Like, you've shimmied up the side of the door. You kind of maybe got one of your comrades to let him step on his back or something or whatever, and you're like, hold still a minute. And you're taking around the top of the door. You don't find a trap or mechanism or whatnot, but what you do find is behind the keystone of the door, it moves, the keystone on the lintel. And it has a stylized lintel and the pattern of the Aztec culture. Everything seems to have these angular kind of figurines and patterns going around.
The whole thing moves, or pieces of it?
Yeah,
or...
there's a centerpiece above the door, and he's up there. He's like, hold still a minute. And you found out that it can move. That centerpiece can move. And you didn't find any traps around it. So it's just a matter of you can pop it open. And
I'll pop it open.
yeah, I guess so, right? Yeah, it clicks sideways, pops off, and behind there is a small, what appears to be a sort of keyhole. And as you probably guessed, it seems to fit. It looks like it could receive that shepherd's crook.
I will insert it.
Whoa.
And you guys actually
What's wrong?
breeze through this room so far without triggering anything, and kudos on that.
Everybody be
Give
ready.
it time.
Give it time. Sorry,
Everybody
yeah.
get ready.
No, you look around then, Heretic. You put it in, and
I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna tell everybody, get ready. I'm gonna open this door. Who knows what's on the other side?
Got it.
My blade rises high, dear friend.
So that door, you can actually press that door icon. I think you can see it on the top. Now be careful, because you can open doors, some of them, unless they're locked. Can you try that, Heretic? Do you actually see a door?
It opens.
Oh, got it. Now you should be able to see beyond, I'm assuming.
I do.
Excellent. You see a corridor. It's 10 feet wide. The sides of this corridor are carved, and that, unfortunately, you don't get fresh air. You realize that the atmosphere on the other side is the same, and it still causes you to kind of, once in a while you cough and you get phlegm and so on. The sides of this corridor are carved to resemble walls of bamboo-like logs. It's very interesting. It's changed quite a bit. But out of stone, the passage slopes down from a single door on its western leg. So that's the door you came on through. It slopes down from there. So you guys are moving. Oh no, you'll be moving up. Pardon me. This is a tournament mode. So give me a second. Yeah, okay. It slopes. Pardon me. It starts to slope up slightly. The lintel with. And there's a hallway. Actually, I don't want to read more because you haven't progressed. Now it's free time now. The room has these little nooks, little tiny little nibs at 10-foot intervals. Everything is very articulate in this place, by the way. Like, you couldn't stick a piece of paper in between the stonework. But it is ancient. There are some cracks, but sorry, go ahead.
I'm just thinking we should prepare a marching order pretty quick. I'm the warrior here, so I might as well go in front. I'd recommend...
Go down this corner, perhaps.
Yes, scout ahead, and then we'll prepare a marching order.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I moved someone else's. My bad.
So I'm going to move forward here. Peek around the corner. Not actually go here, but okay, yeah. I'm going to be right there.
I'll let you move a little further so you can actually see if you want. I'll assume that you're peeking around the corner.
I just moved my piece forward a little and I was able to see. So
if you hold Alt, it won't snap your character around. I don't think it's snap.
I'm good. I saw.
Okay, so you tell them that there's a hallway that goes as far as your vision to the north. Remember, north is to the side, and it has similar motif. The hallway just goes off into the eventual darkness, into this smell. There's this sound.
Actually, I can only see 30 feet. I should have 60.
Got it.
think it's 60.
Yeah, down here, that's half because of that yellow stuff.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So I think I had you on 30, didn't I?
It is 30.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that you realize, man, even my elven vision is like can't cut through this stuff. So if you
Elven eye see.
what do your elven eyes see? All right, let's go. So Kara's taking the lead. You guys can follow up in real time now, so you can move your avatars. And whoever's in front, just go. Like, be cautious though. And if you see something, let me know if you want to check traps down a hallway or in a room.
I do want to check for traps.
Okay,
Yes.
so
And
it
if
will take
Kara's
you.
taking,
It will take you 2 rounds to check for traps down this hallway. All right, and I'm taking off time at this point. And Care, you can go down the hallway about 30 feet, actually close to the end of your vision. You keep moving because you're looking for traps. Or was that the new one?
I failed my trap roll.
Okay. Anyone else? I guess just one person makes that roll. So anyone else following up? You're, I guess, in order as seen. Kara, when you hit that spot there. Okay, I have to roll real quickly. There's a chance because this place is ancient, so some of the stuff doesn't work. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kara, you had some luck. As you get right here, kind of checking out, you hear something kind of give a muffled clunk real softly, and on either side of you, some of these quote-unquote logs, that log motif it kind of had in this hallway, some of them start to swing out, but jam. As
I'll spring forward and then I'll piss back in Thieves Camp to Lena that careful trap.
Are we able to crawl under the logs? Like if we get down low on the floor?
They do, yeah, but you can go through single file through these logs as they're partially, you can tell now, Kara, that the trap has been seized or over time. I rolled the die and you didn't go off. You realize that it could have hit you with enough force that who knows how much force was behind it, but it would have propelled you down the hallway, arguably, there's now a set of doors that you notice up ahead.
All right, so which one are we gonna go through first?
We check these doors to see if
Sorry,
there's
I'll finish. The doors you see, Kara, are double doors of beaten bronze, and they're worked to resemble a forest of seaweed. So you've had a motif here, somewhat.
Sargrass of the sea.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I opened the last door.
Oh,
And-
I passed my trap check.
Just
Nice.
This
Good.
door doesn't appear to have a lock mechanism or anything holding it shut. It seems to just swing open.
And it looks fine as far as traps on the ground or above.
You do find the remnant of the trap that he had actually missed. And it's stuck there in partial frozen in time in a way, partially sprung. You're like, eesh. And it was meant to basically knock whatever was in front of it and seal off the passage, perhaps. You know, the logs would lock. It's hard to say. But you didn't find any follow-up. For the moment, you have these bronze beaten doors.
I think, and Lena just did a trap check on the bronze doors.
Yeah.
They look clean.
My bad.
Pardon me. I didn't see that. They look clear. And
Are they unlocked?
There's something I should bring up, because technically I roll all those rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just remembered that. I'm thinking, wait a minute, there's something going on here. Rolls like that, I roll.
Oh,
Right?
that's nice. That's
And
handy.
then you find out the hard way if you failed, often.
Yeah.
So I'll try to incorporate that, unless it makes it more exciting too, because then you check for traps. All right, yeah.
So just let you know that we're gonna do so, and then you'll roll.
Yeah, and I'm in this game. You can get a bit specific. I don't want to grind the game too often, where you're checking every 10 feet and every door and minute detail. But I'll often give hints if there's something specific. But you may get a hunch too. So that's my style a bit. Keep the game kind of pace going. It's been a lot of fun, so I'm gonna keep it going. I'm hoping everyone can play for another. I can play for a bit longer. I found out a week, yeah. So let's just see how this goes. So at this point, no traps, no follow-up, no creatures. You're getting a stinging smell, and it's been probably been down here, just so you know, in game time. You've been down here about only about 15 minutes.
Shall we keep going?
Who's opening the door? I got the last one.
And anyone can hit the door icon.
You may find me kind of reticent. I've got 10 hit points. I'm kind of the squishiest one.
How do we open the door? Oh, there we go.
I will take you up on that.
Ethelina opens. Oh, I got 2 people in one go. Okay. Ethelina opens it.
I'll switch from bow to sword again.
Who had the night vision? Kara has the night vision.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so you open the doors. This room is constructed of large stone blocks, buttressed in the corners. The walls are wet and slimy, and mud covers most of the floor in a thin coating. In the center of the chamber, there sits a large polished boulder amid a pile of smaller, rounded rocks. The boulder is about well over 5 feet tall and covered brown with dark streaks and spots. Leaning against it is what appears to be a bamboo staff. To the left and right may be seen stone doors, recesses in the walls. I don't know, you might not see that far yet, so I might be jumping the gun. So do you wish to enter this odd room? Floor looks slippery. And it smells here, like, reminds you of, like, the docks, kind of under the wharf.
Can I try to move silently, like, down along this wall?
Sure. And everyone else, let me know what you want to do. If you want to, you're all hovering around the door, kind of looking in, smelling of it, like
60% on my move silent.
Whisper into some of my companions, like, was there something about a snail god? I don't know. Seems.
He was a trickster and a braggart.
Getting a little bit of a snail vibe somehow. Maybe it's all in my head, but
I will.
Maybe it's my god talking to me. I don't know.
Matters like these are never just in the net.
I will watch our rear in the torchlight that we have to see if anything approaches from behind. That'll be kind of my thing.
Well, we can't really go back because we're trapped, aren't we? Or
no, not yet. Well,
it's
so, David. Yeah, you are kind of trapped.
We can't. There's no way out that way. It's a dead end.
Yeah. But never hurts to keep an eye on the rear.
No, we don't know if those
just in
people
case.
won't come from behind us. I can't move my character for some reason. I can just open and shut the door.
Oh, it might be stuck on the door.
Oh, there we go. Now I'm not stuck.
No.
So I'm going to assume that you kind of enter the room. So, Riel, where do you want to go? It's not too important. But when the room is entered, another stonework door may be discerned in the shadows of the boulder across the apartment. So you surmise that there's 4 doors possibly in this room. In the mud around the base of the boulder may be seen a small moving shape. It's a crayfish. Where did I put my crayfish? I had a crayfish here.
And we're hungry too, right?
Is this a carving of a crayfish, or is there a crayfish in the room? Because there's a big
Give me a
difference
moment.
between
It's
that.
a live crayfish about the size of a medium-sized dog.
Ooh.
You said the ground below us doesn't, like, the water doesn't look clean, though. It's slimy.
It's not really water. It's kind of mud. More mud mixed with, it looks like a seabed mud. Really wet.
Did you roll for my move to silently die?
I did, and you markedly stumble and splash a couple times in the water, and you failed miserably.
Okay.
And even you know that. It doesn't. I don't need to keep that secret. Give me a moment, because I lost my friggin' crayfish. Where the heck did it go?
That's the problem with those things. They're really fast.
A crayfish?
Which reminds me, I need to say, yeah,
Well, in
crayfish
water,
is in the
they
room, which is
could
why I'm
be.
switching to my bow.
They can flick their little tail and disappear so fast, and you're like, where to go? I used to try to catch those things.
Oh, in water, they are fast.
Yeah, they're not in water now.
I learned the hard way. You never pick one up by the tail.
I had this out. I readied a bunch of avatars the other day, and this is bugging me because it's disappeared. Oh, no, that's you.
Is it? I'm gonna sound so stupid right now. That's okay. You can make fun of me. This is a crawdad crayfish. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you got Granny Clampett's recipe for crawdads?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Not only this, the crayfish sees you sneaking down the wall, right? It seems to, because it suddenly puffs up and puts up a claw and skitters a bit sideways pretty quick, but it's freaking crayfish.
Oh,
but hold on, I'll describe something, because this is...
And it's the size of a dog, right?
Yeah, small. It's not, probably weighs 40-ish pounds.
Oh, that's a big one.
Oh,
yeah, it's definitely a bit abnormally large for crayfish. I mean, it could pinch you, I suppose, and hurt you.
You almost weigh that much.
Sorry, guys, it took me a minute. So this crayfish.
Oh.
And that's kind of not really a crayfish, it's more a lobster. And it's pretty small, actually. Now, who speaks Olmec here, of course?
I do. And I think
do.
Zima?
Yeah.
So the crayfish kind of comes out, and about 10 feet away, it's waving its claws in this aggressive manner, it appears to be. It's puffing its chest out, I guess if I can describe it like that. And it starts speaking in this weird voice that kind of bubbles a bit. Who is this? It speaks with an Olmec, so only those who speak that can understand it, unless you have a magical means or something.
Alcina, don't attack it. It's sentient. And I'll step forward. We fell through a sinkhole. We seek to escape.
Okay, you're translating this. Okay, he does continue though. He says, "Who is this? Who dares to enter the chamber of the Guardian? You had better go, or I will have to discharge my sacred duty. Be off with you before I lose my temper."
Would you show us the direction to leave? We don't mean to be any trouble to you. He's asking us to leave very, very hastily.
You gotta flutter somewhat. Can you make a charisma check? So give me a charisma roll.
Okay.
Come
and
with
you're
roll.
speaking Olmec. Now, how do you talk, and what is your body language? When you address this strange creature that comes up to your knee.
Charisma check. Is that like a reaction roll?
Yeah. So before you roll, because before you roll, how do you address this creature? And anyone else can address it as well. But he speaks Olmec, so he's speaking to it, and the other person's translating, we'll say, so that you're kind of following that this crayfish is demanding who you are and what you want, and that he'll submit his sacred duty if you push him.
All right. Well, I'll be showing that I'm stowing my weapon away to show that we have no intention to hurt him, and I will introduce myself honestly as Rialu of the so-and-so tribe, follower of Quetzalcoatl, warrior, wanderer, and who be you?
And the little eye stalks on the things kind of are eyeballing you, and they're watching Heretic as he gets up and starts to slink around a bit and dust a bit of the. He tripped a little bit, got some glue on his knee. And I not recognize your kind. Are you invaders?
No, not invaders. The world has traveled many sun cycles since you were here, I assume.
It was so long ago, and he looks a bit melancholy, if that is possible. And he spits out some liquid, and he seems to want to talk. He leans back a bit. As long everyone else hasn't done anything or anything, everyone's just kind of listening to this strange.
Yeah, I can understand it. I say, Rial, perhaps this thing has been here since before this world and the last world. Before
I'm
the
thinking
world.
the same.
Aye.
My masters, they served.
Before the world.
My masters served Zotzelawa. And even that rings a bell to the Olmec who know Zotzelawa was a vampire god, or a bat god, pardon me, and sort of really bloodthirsty god. That was so long ago. They brought me here. I was a slave, a guardian. And he, with one of his claws, he waves to what would be the east, the upper door that you see. Long ago, I came through there, but never left.
I'm afraid this place has long since been abandoned. Your duty may have long since expired.
Expired?
If you are... Yes, if your masters left you here and never came back, then it's probably safe to say that they will not be coming back.
But he, who was the favorite of the master, is buried here.
I see. But east is the exit, yes?
And he nods.
In that case, myself and my companions will travel out of here at great speed, and you are free to join us if you so choose. You do not have to be alone if you do not wish to.
It looks like he's pondering this for a moment, and he sways a bit. I've sworn you may leave this room once, but if I see you again, I shall have to destroy you.
Oh no.
I understand, noble one. And forgive me, what be your name?
Actually has his name here.
Nice.
I am Domo Kalkakia. Kalkakia. I'll write it in here. And it means...
Domo Kalkakia.
Kalkakia. And he's apparently a servant of Zotelawa, this vampire god. And this is apparently, you're starting to get the picture that this domain has to do with him. And he mentioned that there was some lieutenant or priest, possibly, maybe a priest, high priest, that's buried somewhere in here.
Oh man, we're gonna go east and it's gonna be caved in. We're gonna have to kill Domo Kalkakia.
Well, let's at least check the door first, because he did say that if we leave the door and come back, he'd attack. But
Yeah.
He never said if we just open the door, look. We can leave once, so
Pain.
as long as we're careful. Thank you, Koga. I hope one day to meet you again on better terms. Although I will not be intruding on your territory, I assure. Come. And, Vagrants, would you kindly check the door?
And he seems to let you guys... Oh, there's the crayfish. Goddamn. Anyway, sorry. I found
I
that
might as
other
well switch out the miniatures.
Now, yeah, this thing puffs around a little bit, and it goes around the back, and it watches you guys, like, just in kind of interest, but like puffing its chest out, like, oh yeah, I dare you, don't push it. And that is Kalkakaya. And the write-ups, guys, I just have to mention, there's a lot of richness to this module, where a lot of this is actually in the module. I tweak it a bit and give it a bit more life. This door at this end is similar to the others. It's a bronze beaten door of double doors, technically. No, this one's a single door, apparently. Bronze beaten, though, with the same motif. And this crayfish seems content to let you guys leave the place. Says, okay, if you're going to leave, that's okay. Don't come back.
We can go by any door?
Yeah. No. East door.
Maximus over is laughing at vagrants. Would you check the door? Well, he's not exactly gonna just call them thief, you know?
No, yeah.
My check the traps skill is 40. Is that pretty good, or is your all's like way better? Because I'm an assassin. 50. Okay, yeah, you guys should probably do it then. If
it's down here, Darren. Because I walked past here, my way up to the east door.
Okay, just double checking something quickly, everybody. Yes. Okay. Pardon me. So you go up to this. Wait a sec. Where? Oh, so Care's on the other side, right at the moment, right?
Yeah, like I'm walking up to the east door, but I walk past this stairwell. I just want to look down there and see what I see.
Okay, the crayfish flutters around you like a chihuahua, almost if it could bark and whatnot. No, you don't try the door, but you see some stairs going down, but you can see there's a bunch of the doorways. There's a short set of flights, and the bottom of the stairway is filled with silt, which blocks the door. It appears that the door is meant to open into the room, and there are hinges on this side and a large grip to pull on. But bottom, well, it's hard to tell, but it's all filled with silt down there. The stairs go down.
Is it what's the door? Is it brass or is it stone or what?
Bronze.
Bronze, okay.
Yeah. And you head back, and I'll make a quick roll, and you kind of check the door off, but don't find anything suspicious. And about 20 minutes has gone by, and could everybody make a saving throw versus poison?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Here comes the kick.
What?
Oh, this is gonna sting.
See?
Yes. Submit. Huh? I made it though.
I failed.
Natural 20 no less.
Failed also.
Oh. And so did Mira.
This one, you went high or low on saving throws?
Hi.
Darn, I definitely failed then.
It's good. Ooh.
Okay, so if you fail, you take well, you take 1d4 damage, but it's halved if you pass.
Oh, thank goodness.
I'm not sure.
And
you
mechanically,
pass. Nice.
you guys are hacking up stuff a bit now, and it's like, oh, your eyes
I
are.
took half a point of damage.
Now, I'll ring a little bell here, and I'll remind some players to look at their character sheets items and spells. I know for a fact that some of you have some things that may help this situation a bit.
I do.
You rounding
yes,
up or down?
I do have my items, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so
points of damage.
I can only pull out of the bag 10 times, right? Because we're only going to survive for another couple of hours maybe, so So I can only pull out of it 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are we rolling, rounding up or down for damage?
Well, let's roll down. Round down. Pardon me.
Nice. Quite lucky.
This will be completely out of character, but I'm imagining that since Raleigh rolled both a 20 on his save and only 1 for damage, so 0, he's like doing that scene from Gamers 1 where he's like flexing and kisses his muscles and the crowd's cheering.
And you know what? I'm being nice. The module is 1d6 hit points, but I
Okay,
know
we can do the 1d6.
we have more characters, and I don't want to rush it. Like in the tournament setting, you're supposed to just book it, hightail, ignore stuff, like just find the clue. And I don't want to set that tone, but I will set the tone that it's killing you. So you guys all feel the effect in one way or another, and you realize, like, oh yeah, who has 10 hit points?
Zima. Yep.
Took
here's-
1 hit point.
I will
We don't have a
also
cleric
give
either.
everybody gets a healing potion, unless you already had it on your character sheet. Some of your pre-gens might have healing potions.
Mine's got 5 doses of Hiotum's ointment, so that's probably what counts as that.
I forgot to look that up again. I can't remember what that does again.
Oh, I'll get that for you. 1 sec.
Yeah. If you have a moment, check out your stuff, of course, and have your spell ready if you think about casting a spell. Now, things like slow poison, neutralize poison, right? Will
That stuff, I don't know.
no, because those utility spells really come in handy at times like this.
I mean,
And the clerics.
I can only find my backstory, not any equipment or spells. I'm sorry, I've been searching this whole time trying to find that, and I've not been able to find it.
And you are
Mira, the cleric.
pardon me. Then not sure if Mira has any actually, because I know some of you have neutralize poison. I'm just looking here. There's slow poison. Okay, Mira, I'm looking at your stuff right here. Okay, let me darn it. Let me take a screenshot of this. It's right there.
How much does a healing potion do in 1E?
1d8 plus 2.
Oh, wow.
Okay, in the chat for Greyhawk Radio. Oh wait, I have to. Sorry, I just sent it. I just sent. Oh, it's pretty small. It's hard to read that. Shoot. Is there a way to blow that up? You do have slow poison. It's readable. Okay. Yeah, so you have some handy stuff. Like you have garlic buds. You have a silver button. You have a silver button, a symbol of office. Is that your character, or is that the cleric? Oh, that's the
cleric, right?
That's the cleric. Yeah, you are the cleric, right?
Yep. That's.
Yeah, okay. You have a wand of secret door and trap detection.
Oh,
15
that's
charges.
good to have.
Yeah, you should be waving that thing around. You have 15 charges. And it actually tells you what it does there and stuff. Are you guys seeing that? It's in the Greyhawk Radio?
Yeah. Well,
Oh, nice.
I see it for Riala. And
Yeah, but the bottom half is it's mixed up.
Mira. Okay, there's Mira.
Bottom half is Mira.
Here we go. I'm putting it into
Items. Yeah. Still okay. So those are stuff I've got. Okay.
And then I'll bring in the other ones too. I mean, oh no, it's the same one. Ignore that. I did post this way back, and The problem is the module does have it mixed up.
Yeah.
And Cares,
Okay.
you got Heretic, you got the backstory, right? You got all your stuff? You got like a potion of stone to flesh, you got, and it's also got the rest of the magic is just spells. You have fireball. Oh no, you got scrolls.
Yeah, I don't have anything for poison though.
Oh yeah, you're the magic user. Yeah, your character's awesome. Protection from evil, blink, fireball, monster summoning 2.
Get haste, man.
Oh, haste is magic in this game is pretty OP. It's good. All right, let's continue then. So this strange creature, Kalkakal, has watched you doing its duty, and some of you smirk a bit and chuckle a bit under your breath, and he's just puffs his chest out, but you've treated him with respect. You haven't mocked him or, I guess, eaten him. Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna destroy us, man. Give me a few sticks of butter and I'll destroy him.
Big buds, we could season them up, but I'll hold off.
Nice.
As delicious as he would be, Reale more sees empathy towards this this crayfish downed by his masters than mockery or hunger.
For possibly hundreds of years he's been here.
So should we use the wand that you have, Mira?
The secret door trap detection. Yeah.
Is Mira with us?
Yeah.
Mira the Disgraced.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, her backstory.
So
Player.
Lane was gonna be, I thought, or.
Yeah, I should. That's been my.
Lane, you're muted, or we can't hear you.
Have you not been able to hear me this whole time?
No, I can hear you. I can hear him.
Oh, I can't.
Okay.
Hear him. Let me dip out.
Okay. Reboot.
I can hear you, Lane.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah, I hear him now.
Quite well. Haven't provoked anything or done anything, or it's been so far smooth. So we're at the door, and this thing told you that it was brought here long ago, and it came from that area, from the east, which you're facing right now. And when he was young, he mentioned, in my first molting.
It's so
and any of you can hit the door if you want as well. Give me one minute, everyone. I'll be right back.
Do you want to use the wand, or do you think we should save it? We shouldn't save it because we got to move, right? So we have 15 charges. We should just blow them, shouldn't we?
Yeah, because it takes me like what?
2 rounds.
Secret doors or traps. I maybe check for traps. And I tap it on there. I guess that's how it works. I don't know.
I'll tell you in a second.
It will point at the location of a trap or secret door. So
that's in the
general
DMG,
direction,
right?
within 15 feet.
I should get my DMG out. I do have that. I don't have.
If there's a trap, looks like if there's a trap within 30 feet, it'll point in that direction. So. Alia commands you.
Note that it locates either one or the other, though.
Yeah, I have to say, and we said we were looking for traps. We know there's a door here. We want to make sure it won't blow up in our face. So, I'm down to.
Could we mark it from the other side so that we don't come back in? Because he kind of threatened to kill us if we do.
Yeah, if we get turned around or something for some reason.
Like, just put like an X or something using ash from a torch. Just something so we don't come back in here.
Yeah.
I will do just that.
Excellent. So you should be able to open the door, I think, if anyone wants to, and see what's on the other side. Oh, I thought we were on Zoom. I got some wicked backgrounds for this module on Zoom. All right, the door opens, and unfortunately, it's still got the smell of poisonous vapors. The walls of this corridor are wet and slimy, so these ones continue, but the floor is not Oh, as you moved across the room and stuff, you realized how slippery it was. Heretic. That's kind of why you slipped and fell. There was a penalty on your attempt. You guys, I wasn't going to make you guys roll because you didn't do any action or combat, but when you were going across, you almost, it's like walking on ice. Almost.
Right.
So it would have been tricky in combat, and here you realize it would be your movement speed is halved. You have a chance of falling down. Anyway, moving on. As you look down this hallway, the walls of this corridor are wet and slimy. The stucco covering has become saturated with water and is decomposing and sloughing off in spots on the southern wall, exposing the seams of one of the large stone blocks from which this structure was built. So normally there was, at one point, the walls were stuccoed and probably held patterns and colors, but that had all seeped down, and there's now rivulets of stains, of rust and lime deposits. And it smells, the hallway smells, and the door closes behind you. And once you're all through, the crayfish closes the door behind you, if you let it. But up ahead...
But we mark the door so we don't go back through it.
Sure. Yeah.
Or at least know we're running into him.
You notice that the stucco itself at one point may have been covering something up here, and it's pretty obvious. And it's exposed a large block, as mentioned. That might have been part of the structure. And the hallway continues and turns a corner to the north.
We're cool to hear there's no traps up to this point because he had the 30-foot discovery, right?
Yes.
No, that's true. There's I'm not sure how the staff would work. It'd probably point kind of like a load, point and beep or something.
I gotta say traps or secret doors, and within 30 feet for secret doors, it'll point in the direction. Within 15 feet the other way around. Within 15 feet for a secret door, it'll point if I tell it to search for doors, and within 30 feet for traps if I tell it to search for traps. So.
Should we investigate this door over here or continue forward?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, do we want it? Is it worth a charge to see if it's the secret door, or should we just go look at that spot on the wall?
Not a secret door. It's more, is this thing trapped? And I'd say, feel it
we know
out
it's not trapped.
Yeah, it can't be trapped because he already detected 30 feet.
Okay, in that case, I'd say, Raleigh will at least, open the door very slightly and peek on in.
Or something block, or whatever we can find there.
Thought. Now, you can do a short term, you can do a bit of both. You can peek around the corner as well as you're fiddling with this. Now, Riel is there. Now, if you're close to that, was that Athelina? So you moved up? I'm going to assume you're checking out this block?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, first of all, the walls of this place, like you put your hand onto the block side because you're looking for traps and things. I'm just assuming you're being very careful though. But you get some of this material on your finger and it stings. And you pull away in time. I rolled the die for detect traps. And in this sense, it wasn't a trap. It was just a matter of you getting the material on yourself. So that's why the wand didn't detect this. It wasn't actually a trap. It's just part of the environment. So it's a condition of you checking out the stone, if you follow. The tightly fitted stone, you can mint, you realize now, is sort of like it's a plug. It's covered with this wet slime, and you realize you could probably scrape it off, but any flesh that comes in contact will take damage every round.
In that case, I'll take out my jerk, and I'll make very sure not to touch it physically again, but I'll gently scrape away the slime and see what's underneath.
Now, if you had failed that roll, by the way, just to let you know, you would have taken immediate point of damage, and then you would have taken every point around until you actually inflicted 1 to 4 points of damage to remove it from yourself.
Oh wow. Is it like a slime monster?
So through and it. Oh, sorry. Pardon me. Minus 1 damage. No, it would do some damage. It would affect your fighting skills. Anyway, you realize it's corrosive, and you realize that you can push this stone, or if you could have the means, you could try to pull it out. But it's a heavy stone. But you realize that it's been put in place, and it can be pushed in. In Indiana Jones mode.
Alright, in that case, first I will scrape away the corrosive slime with the dirt, make sure that's safe, and then I will attempt to push it in and maybe motion the others to help me push as well.
Oh, it's going to take, you realize it's heavy. And it takes a little bit of time to scrape away the stucco from the joints. But the block may be pushed inward by as many as 4 characters at once. It's a pretty big block. Like, big stone block.
There's 4 characters.
And you realize
that helps.
Strength. So if you can get a combination of 43 strength, which you probably can with 4 characters. Mechanically
I have 17.
17 plus, I got 16.
Oh wow, so that's
I think we're gonna be
we'll
good.
only need 3 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, 16. 6 plus 7 is 13. Yeah, we'll just need someone else with 7 strength or more and we'll be able to push.
Okay, pardon me, I have to read a little bit here. As you guys heave into this, I'm assuming that 1 or 2 of you may have peeked around the corner, care.
It's me.
You sense some, you see the edge of some stairs, some ancient stairs going up into the darkness.
Okay.
But your heart falls a little bit as you start seeing rubble.
I knew it. We knew it. Let's be honest.
I know deep down. You realize, yeah. The stairs go up for only a few steps, and then it seems that the rest of it is filled in with this clay and stone rubble. You haven't checked it out in detail yet, but it doesn't look good.
Let's get the door
Let's
open.
push this and see what
So
happens.
you guys push the door, and I'm just going to move it forward at this point and describe what happens. Once the stone entrance block has been pushed far enough out of the way, so you push it into the room, and you peek in with your torches and stuff and look around, there's enough space to step past beyond it. Like, you got about 2 feet or 3 feet pushed in. Beyond the plug is a small foyer holding 3 sealed urns on both the left and right sides. I'll let you in on the map here in a moment. Here, there are double doors of beaten bronze with glyphs worked into their faces. The portal is locked and prevents easy entrance. I've jumped the gun here a little bit, but you can immediately tell that there's something special about this place. You can see the room now, I'm assuming. This appears, to be a foyer, so a pre-room into something bigger. The doors in front of you are elaborate and intricate. Clearly indicate there's something of importance beyond them, you surmise. These urns are interesting. They're typical kind of clay wrought spun urns, pretty big. I'll finish up here. I'll be quiet soon. Okay, as you shine your light up and some of you poke your heads in and going, ooh. And unfortunately, the gases come into the room quickly and fill it. Like, you realize this might have been sealed at one point, but the gases come in quickly. There's no ventilation.
We get everyone in. Can we close it real quick? Or will it affect us less since we're somewhere without gas?
We need air more than we need tainted air.
Yeah, we might be trapped in here too if we do that.
Yes.
Riel, you look at the door and
We're already trapped because, we're already trapped, so.
You see written with glyphs on the door, and I'll give this to you a moment, because it strikes you, Riel, because you're in here and you can read it, and you're like, whoa. The ancient glyphs are scribed in Olman, and if you can comprehend this language, or by other means, it translates as, "Here lies Cloques Papalokas, Yaholi et Hakatol, Master of the Others," and it translates as "Master of the Others, who's like the wind and the night."
I'll relay this information at least to Athelina there, and tell that to the others. Would you also allow me to inspect these urns over here?
Yes, we will. Just
Excellently.
there's the name of this guy or this thing, Master of the Others, who is like the wind and the night. And
he's the chief servant of the Bat God. So, like, do we have any magic weapons? We don't. Mostly, we have spells.
So far, this place is really disappointing. There's not enough gold, and there's no way out.
Well, how about I take a look at these urns and see what's inside there?
Not to mention the food here talks. So.
Yeah.
But he was so polite.
I
Right,
don't
so
want polite
there's
food.
Okay, you guys have hit an interesting area. I have a little bit of time left. It's been a lot of fun. So let's wrap up this section. We haven't had any combat though. Well, it'll come.
Well, if we can't find a way out, I guarantee we will when we go back through that door.
Possibly, unless you can. There's always other options. But yeah, he actually set the parameters. You might come up with another idea, but you might have to fight him for sure. I've run this game a few times, and the characters and parties have come up with different means, and I'm always like, okay. But here we are in this room. There's 3 urns on either end. This place has a sort of ceremonial look, like much of this place does. The doors are impressive, with this decoration title on it. And there's other motifs of skulls and vines and stuff like that. Lots of skulls. Lots of bat stuff. There's bats and skull bats and bat skulls.
Anything shiny?
Well, no, not so far. You're like this. There's got to be gold in this place. Look how it's built.
So
go ahead.
I assume that these are urns, so I'm gonna take one and I'm going to pour out its contents onto the floor, making sure my feet aren't underneath.
Got it.
Because if those are rot grubs in there, I want to be a little bit away from them.
Got it. Let me just quickly double check. Okay, the seals on the urns are made of beeswax, but you can break them, of course. And you just start kind of just, it doesn't matter which end you start or whatever. You're just gonna go for it.
I'll start with the one in front of me and work my way to the right.
Let me double check here because I know I'm missing something. Oh, snap. Oh no, I'll show you that later. Okay. Sorry, everyone. I thought I missed something here. Yeah. Okay. I thought I missed something, but apparently not. Pardon me. Okay, so each of the urns is filled with a scented oil.
Oh, in that case, I'll make sure to stop pouring that out very quickly. These might fetch a fair price.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that's fair enough. All right. I thought there was something else. But so far, that's all you find. You haven't checked out the door in detail at all, of course, and you haven't checked out the rubble, but that's pretty self-explanatory unless you want to take your chances. But
Scented how? Like with spices?
yeah, I'm just rereading this because I thought I was missing something. I thought I ran this, but I know what I did last time.
Would it be flammable?
Oh yeah.
It is oil.
Not that that would be like first choice for defense in a small enclosed area, but
We could also cook a crawdad with it.
If all else fails, if all else fails, but for now, let's keep moving.
Okay, yep. Let's move on. So you can move your avatars around. We're in real time now. I started the clock again. So all this is taken and like pushing the stone in stuff. We're at about 25 minutes into the game, in game time. And things have been moving pretty fast. You guys have been making good time.
Carrie, you might want to get in here, bud.
Yeah, we're not sealing this door. I'm not coming in if we seal the door, that's all I'm saying.
Right.
Understood. Well, then we won't seal it, we'll just move quickly. Would one of you use the wand or check for traps on the door so we can open her up and see what nasty lies behind?
I could check for traps.
You want to use the wand or you want to check?
Or does the wand guarantee it?
I haven't read up on how it works exactly.
It's 30 feet, so even if there was a trap like 25 feet beyond the door, it would tell us.
It would still give off some alarm, right?
So, plus, it takes longer for us to use a detect traps than it does to use a wand.
Yeah, so the wand should just. So I speak a word, and I have to say traps or secret doors, and it points in the direction.
It's an automatic win, right? That's one thing about 1E. Yep. Sometimes it was just like, yeah, it just works. There's the trap. Is that right though? There's no.
Yeah, I don't think
from the description I read. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No,
I mean, it's on the sheets you sent me, so.
I guess they gave it to the character in the tournament mode, so it was like, oh, well, we're just gonna blow through here. But I guess you have 15 charges, so now you're down to 13.
I'm down to 13 because I just checked for traps again. 30 feet.
Now I'm quibbling here.
I guess I'll get up.
The door is trapped. Now, does it tell you
so it points to the door right in front of us?
The door in front of you is trapped, and now does it tell you the nature of the trap and so on?
It does not. All it tells me is the direction.
And so you still have to disarm it.
Yep. It will not identify how the door trap works. It can only be commanded to detect one of the two choices at a time. So, hey, that's a trap. I pointed
now,
with the
knowing
rod.
it's trapped, would that give Kara an advantage for figuring out where it is?
If you work together as a team or something?
Well, knowing that it is for sure, like we know we're going to find something. I'm guessing if we work together, it would increase our chances.
Okay, well,
yeah, I mean, does the trap...
You can narrow it down to the fact that there is the door opens on a kind of intricate hinge system, meshes together. But however, there is a clever little cavity apparently that was put into one of the hinges. So when you open it, it drops something from the cavity. So the trick would be, yeah, you can open the door and it's not locked, but you can open it, but you just have to make a roll to see if you can either deactivate what's in there, because there's definitely it's danger. And I would, if you work with a teammate, you might get plus 5 to your roll or something.
How large is the cavity, and can we like look into it or put a dagger in it or something, or the tip of the spear to see if we can investigate inside the cavity, or is it too small?
Oh, it's like smaller than your fist, much smaller. And that's what I mean, that you kind of got the beeper up close and you're like, right here, there's something there. And then you're looking and you look and yeah, sure enough, there's some cavity there. What it'll come down to is like basically a disarmed trap.
My concern is that we're in like a napalm room.
Yeah.
A lot of oil here, folks.
I'll say, I mean, I'll just say that like, It is not my time. I have a sacred duty with the god of death. Everyone leave the room. I'll try it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you want us to remove the oil first?
We will remove the oil.
Waddling those
yes, because,
oil barrels out of the way, away from the door.
I accidentally deleted everybody. They disappeared.
I didn't
Sorry.
you deleted 2 characters, but you did not delete
Still
everyone. And
Yeah,
yes,
let's
we will
move these
absolutely take,
oil containers out here.
Oh.
because we want to sell those later if possible, or use them
Yeah,
as
good
a weapon
oil.
if need be.
Oh,
Wow.
dang it. He's
Okay,
too
this
big
is
now.
weird. Oh, pardon me. We lost your character.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and it won't let me undo it. I don't have.
That's
any-
okay. We're going to be. The session's coming to a conclude. Well, we're going to be ending the session here, but we're going to deal with this door first, and then see what's beyond it. If that's what you guys intended.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely, that's
For
it.
the moment, we'll just. We'll get more. That's sorted in a moment.
So should
so
I?
you're at the
Oh
door.
wait, no, you do it. You're the one that rolls it. Yes, I'll try
Oh,
to disarm it.
And you're alone now in the room.
Yeah, they took all the oil out of the room, which is pretty clever, and I hadn't thought of that.
What is your disarm traps?
40 under. Yeah.
And I'll give you a bonus because you had the wand located and so on.
I'll try to take the dagger and hold an object to keep it from, as the door moves, to keep it from falling.
Interesting. So you click and you realize that you have to open the door and you have to catch this vial.
Yeah.
And so the others are kind of watching from around the plug and kind of going, and the doors swing open and your hand darts out and you catch a small vial that would have dropped and broken. And it's about the big of a small light bulb made from some blown glass, stoppered with something, and inside is a green liquid.
The god of death has given me what I need for my.
And you grin a bit because you realize, what do we have here? Go ahead, Ross. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that's all. I just say that he obviously is he's obviously providing me what I need to complete my sacred duty.
Now I will conclude the session by reading to you a description here, as you realize now that he's dismantled whatever trap this would set off. Now I'm going to give you a roll, Ross, to see if you might get an inkling of what the nature of this liquid is. It's a long shot, but I'll give you you can pick either an intelligence check or a wisdom check.
Intelligence. Want me to do like a no spell or
Sure.
roll under?
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah, sort of. Well, it's more about no poison. Yeah, sort of. And,
Assassins have a special advantage with this?
I'm giving. It's a bit of a long shot. I'm giving him a because he was an assassin. I kind of gave him this chance, unless somebody had like a identity spell or something.
I probably
for the
feel
moment,
if it's on a D100.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Once the others realize that there's no trap been sprung, the more curious might poke their head around and kind of glance into what he sees. I can hit this lock. The room beyond is actually lit a little bit, and I have to bring in, bear with me a moment, I'll bring in a light source. There's an eerie kind of greenish tinge. It just gives it a kind of fluorescent, odd look, like you're in some full of dry ice or something, right? And it's just coming from the walls, the algae and the lichens on the wall. And the only way I can do this, come on, cat. I'll just create a quick token here, and then I'll emit light. Did that work?
I see a sarcophagus, maybe?
Indeed. Behind the doors is a chamber cut out of the rock with the veil of calcite and stalactites covering the walls. Buttresses rise from the corners, brown shot through with black, and great stone transoms support the high vaulting. Around the room stands a procession of warriors and priests, modeled in stucco with the pallor of death. Occupying most of the chamber is a colossal monument, resembling a giant's table, covering on all sides with intricate carvings and glyphs. Engraved on the floor directly in front of the entrance is a seal bearing more glyphs. Opposite the entrance, a battle axe is embedded in the wall, 6 feet above the floor. And bear with me, I'm going to send a couple pics.
Cool.
The monument, perhaps a ceremonial altar at one time, is constructed from several parts. A great stone slab, over 20 feet long by 20 feet wide, rests upon a 4-foot thick monolith of rock of similar dimensions, and this, in turn, is supported by 6 huge blocks of dolomite. Every component has been carved with intricate carvings and glyphs. The top of the slab depicts a struggle between a dark-skinned man and a mighty knotted serpent. Engraved above this illustration are the same glyphs as those found on the floor. Under these sigils are etched a series of 4 face glyphs in a line. The face glyphs are not used elsewhere on the block, except at the foot of the slab, where there is a row of 11 of these symbols, all different in form. The battle axe has a blade of bronze, and the haft is wound with snakeskin wrappings. The axe casts an ominous shadow of what appears to be a withered arm. And you feel a cold chill go up your spine as the doors open and there's like a gust of this foul, cold air.
I call upon thee, Mictlekatli, to speak to me, the dead.
Oh, wow.
But maybe not this session. But yeah.
Well, let's hold that thought.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave you a bit of a cliffhanger, but I was going to show you the original pic from the module. Pardon me for the moment.
No, I love art.
Oh yeah, and ignore the picture on the right.
Likewise.
Pardon me. This is the original where you can see the axe buried in the wall, and it also has the withered hand casting a shadow from it.
That's so great.
Where is it?
The Tomb of Horrors original art is vastly superior to the 5e art. I looked at it and I was like, I'm doing the original.
Every time.
For
Every single
sure.
time. Oh, that's nice and creepy.
And this is from the 70s too, so it has that authenticity, right? It's somebody who was delved into this stuff because you didn't have the internet and whatnot. You had to go to the library and take out books and shit. And actually, oh yeah. That's why this module is really one of my favorites. And I appreciate that. That is actually
there's such a love for world culture.
Indeed. We're gonna pause the game now, and you guys have found what appears to be perhaps the tomb of Tolokes Papalokas, who is, I'm going to put it again, master of the others, who is like the wind and the night. And his title was Yowaye Alyaktol, which translates as kind of like a high priest. I'll look up the terminology. And I'll do some work again on some of this lore. And you guys were awesome.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Darren, for running. I'm really excited about it.